Welcome, my darlings. I'm Vanessa, founder of Feminine Spaces. This is a sanctuary for women 40 plus and beyond who are here not just to age gracefully, but to rise powerfully through self-mastery, relationship wisdom, and conscious living. Today, this episode is a sacred one. We're diving deep into how to cultivate deep emotional intimacy in your 40s and beyond, not just in romance, but in your friendships, with family, and most importantly, with yourself. Because the truth is, intimacy isn't about proximity. It's about presence. And when you reach this beautiful, potent chapter of our life, where we're in our 40s, our 50s, and even our 60s, you're not looking for surface level connection. You're craving soul level resonance. And girl, that's exactly what we're going to create today. What is emotional intimacy really? I mean, if you really think about it, it's about, okay, let's clear the air. Hold up, let me clear the air. Let's clear the air. Emotional intimacy is not just about late night heart-to-hearts or crying on someone's shoulder. It has more to do with the experience of being truly seen, deeply heard, and gently held, even in your most messiest, most vulnerable moments. So, how do we define emotional intimacy? Emotional intimacy is the capacity to share our innermost thoughts, our fears, our dreams, our truths with one another, without fear of judgment or rejection or abandonment. It's the closeness that transcends physical touch. It is rooted in mutual respect, trust, and emotional presence. Why it matters. When emotional intimacy is lacking, we may feel lonely even when surrounded by people. But when it's present, we feel nourished, safe, and deeply seen. So here's the truth about emotional intimacy, because at the end of the day, it begins with you. So the question is, do you sit with your emotions or do you rush past them? Do you offer yourself grace or you demand performance? The way we relate to ourselves is mirrored in all of our relationships. Okay, psychological insight. Dr. Brené Brown teaches that vulnerability is the birthplace of intimacy. It's not weakness. It is the courage in action. When we allow ourselves to be truly seen, we open the door for others to love us fully. Emotional intimacy requires us to let go of perfection and performance in favor of authenticity and connection. What's the spiritual insight? Intimacy is a divine mirror. When we welcome others into our inner world with honesty, we allow love to become a spiritual practice. So here are 5 transformational, actionable practices that you can begin using today. Each one is a doorway into a deeper connection, not only with others, but with yourself. Radical presence. Radical presence means being fully engaged in the moment with an open heart, without distractions or emotional withdrawal. So when you look at this, it's important to understand why it matters, because presence communicates you matter. In a world addicted to busyness and multitasking, presence is a rare and precious gift. So let's think about a real world example. And I use this often in my practice with my clients, is trying the 3 deep breath rule. Before responding in a conversation, take 3 deep breaths. You'll notice your nervous system calms down, and suddenly you're not reacting. You're responding with intention. The psychological insight to this is research shows that active presence activates the mirror neuron system in our brains, allowing us to feel seen and connected. It signals emotional safety, which is the foundation for intimacy. Now, the spiritual insight is that presence is prayer. It is your soul's way of saying, I'm here with you. Speak the unspoken. If you define it, speaking the unspoken means daring to voice what you feel, what you need, or desire, even when it feels risky. Why it matters. Avoiding hard conversations creates emotional distance. Fact. Voicing our truth invites connection, repair, and a depth to your relationships. So here's a real life example. Next time you feel emotionally distant from someone you love, try saying, there's a part of me that misses feeling close to you. Can we talk? What's the psychological insight behind this? Straight up, suppressed emotions don't disappear. They detour into resentment, passive aggressive, or withdrawal. Intimacy grows when you choose courage over comfort. What's the spiritual insight? Truth heals what silence hides. Your voice is sacred. Use it. Number 3 is ritualize the connection. Because you know I love a ritual. Ritualizing connections means creating consistent, sacred touch points that nurture closeness and emotional tuning. One thing that I do all the time, even today, to create a vibe for us, table, flowers, fruit, candles. Why it matters. In long-term relationships, emotional connection is maintained through micro moments of love and attention. Rituals anchor relationships in rhythm and reverence. So show up for yourself. And let's use a real life example. Okay, create a weekly ritual like a Soul Sunday, where you check in emotionally with your partner, with your best friend, or even just journal your inner landscape. Why is this important? Okay, psychological insight. Rituals activate our sense of security and predictability, which lowers stress hormones and strengthens bonding. The spiritual insight. Rituals turn the ordinary into sacred. It reminds us that love is a practice. Okay, seriously. Number 4, rewire your nervous system for trust. Rewiring your nervous system means healing old emotional patterns so you can respond from a place of safety, not fear. That's why it's important to become accountable and responsible to yourself for learning the skills to be able to do this. Because you cannot create intimacy if your body is in survival mode. So emotional connections require a calm, regulated state. So if you think about a real life example, let's do something kind of ritualistic. Lay one hand on your heart and one on your belly. And this is very, very good. You say, I am safe to feel. I am worthy of being known. Practice this daily and watch what changes. What's the psychological insight to that little tool? Neuroplasticity means our brains can change through intentional practice. Somatic affirmations rewire trauma responses and create new emotional pathways. So the spiritual insight is that trust is not a leap. It is a returning. Each day you return to the safety in your own body. And it's so important because it's showing you that you're regulating your system, your nervous system. And number 5 is think about curiosity over criticism. Curiosity over criticism means choosing to explore rather than judge. It's the foundation of compassion. Why does it matter? Criticism shuts people down. Curiosity opens them up. Intimacy thrives when both people feel safe to be imperfect. So if we use a real life example, think about next time you feel tension, ask, which is a way of responding, not reacting. Ask, what are you needing right now that you're not receiving? This one question can transform emotional gridlock into deeper understanding. So the psychological insight behind this is attachment theory teaches us that emotional reactivity often hides unmet needs. Those unmet needs are your wants, your needs, your desires. So curiosity bypasses defensiveness and it invites an authentic dialogue. So the spiritual insight is that curiosity is soul seeing. It allows us to witness each other without fixing or changing. So when you think about the beloved emotional intimacy as a feminine art, it asks us to slow down, to soften, to show up, not as perfection, but as a presence. This isn't about mastering your partner. Quite frankly, it's about mastering your emotional landscape. It's you. So, from there, creating a magnetic, meaningful relationship. So every time you do something as simple as, which I do it almost every day, lighting a candle in my home, it reminds me that I am a safe space for truth, for connection, and emotional depth. Because your home becomes your anchor. Your rituals become your magic. Your awareness becomes your power. If this stirred something inside of you, know this. You are not alone on this path. Here at Feminine Spaces, we are a movement of women reclaiming our emotional brilliance, our inner sanctuary, and our soul's power. So, click, subscribe, join the community, and share this with a woman you love. Coming up into the summer of 2025, look for links below that have the upcoming accountability course and exclusive merch. And for the fall of 2025, I'll do my first luxury wellness retreat where we go even deeper together. So until next time, stay radiant, stay honest, and remember, you are the space where love begins.